Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando.
Welcome horror fans, there's so much stuff to talk about with Halloween Horror Nights, I just don't know where to start.
Now, what shall we talk about?
Well, let's talk about the houses, the Scarezones, the live show, and the 2 new Street Experiences. Plus, of course, the fact, I think there's still 2 houses to be released as well. A lot of people seem to think that Freddy Fazbear and Five Nights at Freddy's is going to be one of the houses still, in which case there's only one to be released, which will probably be a Universal original house. However, the way that Universal announced it after Blumhouse let the cat out of the bag was that Five Nights at Freddy's was coming in a whole new way. Now, if it's a house, that's not a whole new way, that's what we expect, that's what we know that there's going to be. So a whole new way would suggest something different. So what I'm thinking is that they've announced Street Experiences as being a new way forward and more immersive for Halloween Horror Nights this year, which is absolutely brilliant, because if you get Street Experiences as well and you're actually going to experience stuff while you're walking around the park, not just in the scare zones, that's going to add to the immersiveness tenfold, and it's going to be so much better. So is it at all plausible that Five Nights at Freddy's might not be a house? It might be Freddy Fazbear and the other characters from Five Nights at Freddy's wandering around the park. So it might be that no matter where you go in the park, unless you go into the non-scary designated areas, which there's going to be some, probably down the alleyways and cut-throughs and other areas like that, but if you're in the main walkways in the park, it's likely you're going to get surprised or jumped out on, or a character pop up in front of you just about anywhere in the whole park, which would be absolutely brilliant. It really would. That would add to the immersiveness tenfold. So the way they've been selling it to us is that Mel's Dying zombie car hops are going to be out and about. Whether they're going to be away from Mel's Dying or whether they're going to be serving food at Mel's Dying, we've yet to find out. But either way, one can assume, being as they did advertise for staff that could roller skate to actually participate in Halloween Horror Nights, that it's going to be some zombie car hops on roller skates, in which case they could be skating their way around the park as well. So you could turn around and find yourself staring at a zombie car hop on roller skates, maybe with a chainsaw. That's going to be creepy if it's anywhere in the park.
Sorry, this place will hire anyone. What can I get you? I think your shift's over. That's just gross. You want the Halloween special?
And obviously we've got Club Horror as well. So if that's a dance party and there's characters there like Wolfman, Dracula, Bride of Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, the creature from the Black Lagoon, any other monsters that are original concept monsters from Universal could well be at the party. And if they're wandering around the park as well, maybe they're going to be street encounters. Maybe they're going to pop up just about anywhere around the park too. In which case, it is feasible that Freddy Fazbear and the gang could possibly be again wandering around the park, because that would be a whole new way. Maybe Five Nights at Freddy's and Freddy Fazbear will be the host of the event, and they will mingle and walk around the park, and they will actually go off doing their own thing, as opposed to being stationary in one fixed scare zone. Which would make it absolutely awesome, because you'd have Freddy Fazbear and the gang, you'd have Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, Wolfman, you'd also have zombie car hops all around the park at different times, at different points, just about anywhere, waiting to jump out on you and scare you. So that would definitely up the immersiveness no end. And then there's the houses. I think there's still 2 to be released. I think there's one more IP house, which I don't know what it could be, to be honest. The way it's going so far this year, it could be anything. And I also think there's going to be another Universal Original house to be released as well. The strong hints are towards it being a WWE house, which again, if they pick the right character, could be very good, very immersive, and it could be fairly gory as well, so it would be a fun house to walk through. So that covers the new and immersive elements of Halloween Horror Nights this year. Let's have a look at what we know so far about what is happening for sure. So at the moment we've got 8 horror houses that have been announced. Obviously we've got Fallout, where we're going to follow Lucy through the vault up to the surface and follow her on a journey trying to evade the ghoul. And at some point she's going to run into Maximus with the T60 armour. And then of course we've got Jason Universe, which I believe is going to start somewhere in his slaughter shack in the woods, and it's going to end up where it all began, at the cabins at Camp Crystal Lake. And the journey along the way, I think, will be Jason Voorhees over the years, different elements of it, different ways that Jason's been presented. So that could keep things really interesting and really scary.
I heard this one is really scary.
I heard this new Jason's even scarier.
Did you see the last one? That ending was nuts.
Oh my god, this place is so creepy. Jason!
I know, right? What is that?
Oh my god!
Did you see the part where he just appeared out of nowhere?
Yeah, classic Jason. And that machete sound, man. So good.
I know, right? Jason was way scarier back then.
Look at that cabin, it's so creepy!
Right.
This is the most terrifying Friday the 13th made yet.
Yeah, Jason is incredibly realistic.
Jason's the scariest. Jason's over there, he's heading this way.
Then of course we've got the Terrifier, which, as everybody knows, is probably going to be the goriest house that Universal has ever done. It's been said that they're actually going to have blood splatters going on you while you walk around the house. Obviously it's going to be water, I would imagine, and there's going to be some red lights flashing when it happens, so you're going to walk past something, it's going to get its throat slit or something like that, and then water's going to spray over you, so it's like the jugular's been sliced open and blood's flying out all over you, so it's going to be pretty gory. So that's yeah, it's going to pull out all the stops for gore. So I don't think that one's going to be for the faint-hearted. If you're queasy or you don't like the thought of the blood segments of it, probably skip that one. By all accounts, it's going to be in the Terrifier's funhouse, and you're going to see an element of every single kill that he's ever made. So that makes it one hell of a house to go through. Then of course we've got the 5 Universal Original houses that have been released as well. We've got El Artista, the Spanish haunting. That's where Sergio, the artist, has gone to a Spanish retreat in an attempt to increase his productivity and actually get some work done. From what they've said, the paintings that he paints are going to actually come to life and they're going to possess him. So that's going to be a creepy El Muerta, death-orientated, demon-based Spanish haunting. Then of course we've got Dolls, Let's Play Dead. Well, anybody who doesn't like dolls, this is going to be their worst nightmare, because I think we're going to be shrunk down to the size of toys, and we're going to walk through a horrific, gory cross between Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Toy Story. So if you imagine those two, but made by Wes Craven or someone like that, then yeah, that's going to be quite an unpleasant and scary sort of house to walk through as well.
Okay, that's seriously creepy.
that doll just move?
Run! This is insane. I feel like we're actually toy side.
Those dolls are so creepy. Did you see the one with the missing eye?
Giant teddy bear? It's horrifying.
How real it looks.
Look at that one. Its eye is following us. This is so creepy. No, this is too much.
Again, dolls aren't particularly a big fear of mine, but I think in that house, if it's done right, it could be quite scary, quite jumpy, and quite nerve-wracking. Then of course we've got Gálkn, the Norse mythological based horror. Apparently some demons are going to come out of the sea and they're going to take over and attack and destroy a local village. So I'm sensing there's going to be some Viking fighting type thing, and ice and snow, and it's going to be cold, and it's going to be a bit of a Ghostbusters Frozen Empire type vibe inside in relation to the temperature and the fact they'll drop the air conditioning down, and there's probably going to be some snow drifts in there or snow falling at some point. But yeah, I think that's going to be a good one, and it'd be interesting to see, because Norse mythology is an interesting subject anyway. Obviously half of the Marvel characters that Disney do are based on Norse mythology. Thor and Odin and Loki and lots of others. But yeah, so that would be a great one to do, and I'm looking forward to that.
For Asgard! For glory!
Then of course we've got Hatchet and Chains, the demon bounty hunters that are going to hunt the lava demons that are attacking the western town. So we're going to see two cowboys wielding their magical weapons to defeat these gigantic lava demons that are destroying everything.
bitch! Hell yeah! Time to cool off, hot stuff! Jokes change. Stop hogging on the action! You going down, fire boy?
And then of course we've got Grave of Flesh, which from what they say sounds like it's going to be pretty creepy. It's going to be what happens to you after you die, where you go, and the torment and torture that you go through with flesh-eating demons that are going to surround you, and you're going to have to escape from that house with all your limbs attached, I would think. So that sums up the 8 houses that we know about so far. Now we've also got the 4 scare zones. So we've got the cat lady on Crooked Lane. This is the scare zone where the crazy old witch lady tempts trick-or-treaters into a spooky home and she turns them into cats. A little bit like the Helen Cresswell book that was based on a witch that used to turn children into cats. So yeah, that's pretty creepy. That's going to be a scare zone with probably lots of pumpkins and some maybe hybrid crossbred human type cat figures wandering around, and possibly some cats as well, and or obviously not real cats but some version of cats. And from what I've seen, there's actually a construction at the end of the walkway which I think they're going to use for Crooked Lane, which I believe will be where Swamp of the Undead was last year. And at the end I think they're going to build the cat lady's house, and they'll probably have some cat figurines and whatnot around it as well. So it's going to be pretty spooky. And hey, black cats and cats were orientated towards Halloween anyway, and superstitious people. So yeah, I think that could be a great little scare zone. Then of course we've got Mutations Toxic 20s, which is where a BuzzCon truck smashes into a gangster's car, and all hell breaks loose when toxic waste, radioactive waste, gets leaked out everywhere. And so we end up with 1920s gangsters and flappers toxic mutants, which is going to be an interesting one to walk through. So we're going to have gangsters with Tommy guns and flappers and delivery drivers all mutating into toxic radioactive zombie type mutants. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I like the 1920s vibe as well, especially around the New York area of Universal. It'd be great. Then of course we've got Masquerade Dance with Death, which as we know is going to be a masked ball where when they reveal themselves and take their masks away, they're going to be vampires, bloodthirsty and hungry, looking to actually eat everybody that walks through there and feast on them and feed on them. So that's going to be a nice one for anybody who's a fan of vampires and Dracula and Transylvania and that kind of thing. Nice nod to Van Helsing the movie. There's a great scene in that with the Masquerade ball as well, where Van Helsing comes to rescue Kate Beckinsale from Dracula's clutches. And then of course there's the main scare zone, which I think is going to be at the entrance and running up towards Minion Land, the Origins of Horror, which is said to be sculptors sculpting with chainsaws statues related to all the characters that are featuring in all the houses this year. So that would be an interesting one to walk through anyway. So they're kind of keeping the chainsaw horde, but they're actually going to be in the Origins of Horror conservatory scare zone instead. Whether they're actually going to erect a tent or such like that's going to give a conservatory vibe, I don't know, but that would be good if they did, and that would certainly make it interesting. Either way, it'd be good to see what the characters are they actually put in this. The 4 scare zones as well. All that's left to really talk about is the Circus of Decay. So they're maintaining the outdoor show they did last year, but they've actually called it Circus of Decay this time. Now I hate to say it, but that does sound a lot like Cirque du Soleil, doesn't it? So I'm sensing a bit of a vibe there in relation to a decaying, decrepit circus of death and doom and disaster. So I think that should be a great fun thing to watch. I'm sure they'll have some great acts on with pyrotechnics and some other stunts going on as well. If you want to see the Circus of Decay, bear in mind you're going to need to get to the queue line at least 45 minutes to an hour before the actual show starts, or you won't get in. You definitely won't get in. It's very popular shows, they always are. They're also putting on Hauntophonic, A Ghoulish Journey, which they describe as a ghost story as rising from its watery grave to haunt the Universal Studios Lagoon, featuring towering water screens and eerie music. Anyway, so that wraps it up, folks. It's not that long to Halloween Horror Nights now. It's actually just over a month. I'm excited and I'm looking forward to going. I should be there on the 29th, a few other nights as well. Anyway, have a great time getting ready for Halloween this year. If you're going to Halloween Horror Nights, have a fantastic time when you're there. Don't forget to hit subscribe and notify if you want to stay up to date with any videos and updates that I post. And of course, share any of the videos I do with anybody you think might find them interesting. And if you see me there at the event, come over and say hi. Always nice to meet people. So have fun preparing for it and stay spooky, people.